Greetings fellow drone enthusiasts. Today we're going to show you another great app that you will definitely want to have installed on your smartphone, especially if you do own a drone like DJI or Parrot. We're talking about the AirData UAV. Now, this app is really useful for getting all of your logs that will be available on the DJI Fly app, but however, they are not easily readable on the other application. As you can see, the best part of it is that it allows you to take a look at, depending on where you are. Let's locate, for instance, our location. We will turn it on. We will find it where we are set up. This is our address right now, and it's telling us that if we are above 30 meters, there's strong winds, 25 kilometers per hour. It's also telling us if there's anyone else flying nearby. This is mostly like a weather forecast, but the best thing is that you can sync. For instance, if you log in on your computer, and this is very important, you do have to create a user account online so that you can sync your flight data. If we go and sync right now, sending done, no new files, and you go to data, these are all the flights that we have made on our drone and that we have uploaded on our DJI Fly app. And this application, pretty much what it is doing is just pulling it from the flight logs, and it shows you more or less the patterns that we use for flying, tells you data such as the maximum distance, the height, the wind velocity, the speed of the drone. And this is very useful because on the website you can actually replay the video with the flight. So if you do lose your drone because of strong winds or any other reason, or maybe an accident, you can actually replay the flight logs and see more or less where was the last position where it got a signal or where it might possibly have crashed. So just take into account that this app is really good. It also gives you forecast. So if you do have a drone, this is one of the apps that you must have. The DJI Fly app also allows you to play the logs, but I think that this one it's better because it also allows you to get forecasts of where you are. So now I want to show you the next step, which is very important. It has to do with the DJI Fly app. And the reason for this is that if you want the AirData UAV app to work, you need to set up some stuff here on your DJI Fly app. For instance, if you take a look at it on where it says more, this is a flight data center, and this is the log of all the flights that have taken place since I flew the drone for the first time. You need to have enabled on the settings the option for sync flight data, auto sync flight records. And what it happens is that whenever you connect to a Wi-Fi, it will automatically upload the flight records, and that's something very useful because this is the way that UAV air data pulls the data from your DJI Fly app. So don't forget to do that. We will now show you in the computer how it looks like, but yes, you always have to upload your DJI Fly or your DJI Go flight data so that it can actually pull it on the other application we talked you guys about. Okay, now we are at the AirData UAV website and we're browsing it through our laptop. As you see, we already registered, so we will just go and click on My Flights. Remember that registration is free. Now, as you can see, the interface is really user friendly, and this is why it is so important to have the UAV AirData app on your phone. As you can see, it already acknowledges that we have a Mavic Mini, and it's telling us on a color scale the speed of the wind. You can remember that the Mavic Mini only withstands up to 29 kilometers per hour wind, so you know that we are somewhat limited on the capabilities. Here on the screen it tells you all the data about your flights, the longest flight, which is something that you cannot see on the DJI Fly app. So it's very important, as you saw from the previous step, that we have to actually update and link. This is very important. The flight retrieval, you do have to have a DJI logging, so the UAV app syncs with the DJI Fly app data logs. So remember that you'll just log in if you have a DJI or if you have an Autel or a Parrot. It depends. Just log in with your regular DJI account, and you can sync the data with the DJI Fly app data. We will show you one of our flights, and it is easier for you guys to understand how important it is. I know that we're talking about how to avoid getting your Mavic Mini lost with the air, but as you can see, it's pretty much just understanding what are your capabilities. A lot of people will tell you to switch to sport mode, but that's not the point. If you can see, we already know from the data that it is very windy out there, so you need to take extra precautions. You see all these warnings, and it is pretty much telling you already that regardless of how you fly your drone, or if you change it to sport mode, it is somewhat limited because there's a lot of wind. We will play the video, and you will notice that it's reading all the values like battery voltage, cells, number of GPS, position, the radio signal, the controller's input, how the drone is moving. And the secret to actually avoiding to get your drone lost is just to use the UAV data app, because it will allow you to understand how is the wind behaving when you're going to launch your drone. That is the best advice I can give you guys. First, check out the conditions on where you're going to fly. It's orange right now, so it's telling us that yes, there's some strong winds at ground level. The higher you go, the stronger they will be, so you have to take extra precautions. It also allows you to understand how your drone is behaving, and this is important if you do get your drone lost, because you will be able to track with the data where was the last position and how it was flying when it happened. So remember that it is all about planning. It's not about reacting when you get in trouble. There's some steps that you can do, but if you already know that it's going to be windy, make sure you don't go that high nor that far away. So that's the secret. Luckily, I found out about this app, and it's giving me a lot of information, and it has helped me. On one of the flights, I did have some trouble because there were some strong wind gusts, and it just started to move the drone away. As you can see, it's on red, and it's already warning me that I'm very close to the top speed that the Mavic Mini can handle. And I was having even more issues because I had the prop guards, which made it heavier, so the ESCs and the motors were not strong enough to combat or address the wind issue. So this is why it's important to have these apps, because it's like you being a pilot. You have to take all the necessary precautions. This is not something that you will find as just flipping a switch and it will give you extra boost or power. That might be something not very smart to do so, because if you have your drone and you suddenly change to sport mode in order to try to overcome the wind, chances are that you will wear out your batteries even quicker than you can imagine, and you will be losing power one way or the other, and your drone will just automatically land wherever it is. So that's something serious. Play it safe, understand how the wind is behaving where you are, plan in advance, know the max height you can reach based on the wind projections. Always check before taking off, and we hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe. You can follow us on Dron-isteria.